offhand right now, so I might forget something. I'll make sure to cover it. Test review, yeah. Yeah, chapter review for the test, yeah. All right. One of the first things we're going to do is graph exponential functions, growth into decay. What's very fortunate though, if you have a calculator, this makes it a lot easier, but it's still doable by hand. I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, and then you could also do it on a calculator. You'll also get an XY grid on your test. I don't have one for you, but you'll get one soon. Tuesday. So for this one, we'll start off with this. I want to graph this. Usually I like the points from -2 to 2 to make my life easier. So these are my X's. So my Y's over here.
A new colored master.
I'm going to plug it in.
Oh, yeah.
So guys, I'm trying to record a review.
So they can hear it?
Yeah, everything's recorded for you guys later in the future. So each time I'm going to do this, I'm just plugging in the number I have into the exponent. So I have -2, I'm going to plug in -2 to the exponent. For here, I have -1, I'm going to multiply -1 to the exponent. To the 0 power, and such, okay?
Well, this is like the same thing we did last time.
Yeah.
I'm writing down.
So each answer, I'll just do it 3/4, 3/2, 3, 6, 12. And then from there, you would graph this. Everything we're going to do is on your test.
This is on our test?
Everything we're going to do is
What
going to be
is
on the
this?
test.
We didn't do this yesterday.
Are you?
We didn't do it yesterday.
Are you posting a review sheet?
I'm making a review video, and I'll try to find review material, but
Wait,
you know
what
the
is
textbook.
Last time you made a
No.
review video and the way the test that you invited.
It was-
I'll be making the test too today, so it'll match.
So different.
I know, it'll match because I'm making the test also.
So you're making a review sheet for the test or no?
I'm definitely making the test and I'm making this video. I don't like, I have to make a review sheet, but that's kind of tough.
Alright, guys, let's go to play again.
So this one, this is your numbers, and then you would just graph this on a tape, on a picture. It kind of look like this generally. I'm not gonna go over how to graph
How do you
points.
know how to graph it?
I would just put the points and then graph it. Like, I know it's gonna look like that. When you do it, you just graph it yourself. I'm not gonna go over putting coordinate points. I think you guys know that from, if something you're gonna say that we learn every year, that's definitely something we learn every year.
So you would, so let's say if X is -2, then you put that in your calculator and Y would be 4.
Yeah, or you could go second table, get it from the table. There's a lot of ways you can use your calculator. I'm just showing
Your
them.
calculator for this.
Alright.
It makes it a lot easier. Actually, you do need it because some of the questions are impossible without
So
calculator.
where's this video recorded? Is that just? Oh, never mind.
3 times 2 to the -2 power, which is 1/4.
I have to go get my calculator.
Check on. So that's a growth. And then also, if it's a growth, when this is bigger than 2, or you don't have a negative exponent, it's going to be a growth. If it's smaller than 1, it's going to be decay, okay? But in terms of doing it though, it's always the same. Doesn't matter if it's growth or decay.
So wait, a question, if
Yeah.
it's like 3 times 3 divided by 4x, that's the same decay?
3 times 3 to the 4th x. 3 to the 4th is less than 1, so that's decay. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Is this growth or decay? Sorry.
This one is particularly is growth. And if it's less than 1 in the exponent, within the exponent, like inside it, it will be decay.
So stupid.
So like a half, a third, 2/4,
This is so-
or that's the same as a half, 3/4.
Oh, you guys are actually talking now?
0.8, doesn't matter. But in terms of the method, it's still the same. You just plug it in your calculator or do it by hand. All right. Also on 3.1, we have the compound interest. A equals P 1 plus R over N NT.
One more guess.
So then I've already listed in the past what the values are. So I'm just going to make up a question real quick.
What's the last letter?
Just tell me the last letter.
No, it's so cheating.
I can't, I have one more guess. I can't
This is a
figure it
little
out.
bit behind that. 6% every half a year.
And you're on the last one.
You're not gonna get it.
No, I almost got blocked out.
If he Wait. Put in-
I got it.
Problem.
Ha, told you. I was
Yeah,
gonna
well,
get
that's
it.
You all heard of my call.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
So you don't have to write every word of that word problem. Let's just take the important information from it. So the amount, A is the end amount. We don't know what that is, so I'll put a question mark. The principal is what I'm starting with, AKA what I put in the bank. In this case, I put in 12,000, so I'm gonna put 12,000. Mhm. The R is the rate. Now, remember, it's 6%, but we don't do math with percentages. We gotta change it to decimal. So it's gonna be 0.06 when we plug it in. We have the N. N is how many times it happens per year. Since it's every half a year, it's gonna happen twice per year. And then our T is gonna be how many years in total, which in this case is 10. So A equals 12,000 times 1 plus 0.06 over 2 to the power of 2 times 10, which would be 20.
I want that.
Let me get my calculator loose. 1.03.
As well.
Wait, why'd you put a 2?
The 2 is how many times it happens per year. And since the question says
Where,
it happens
oh, every half year?
every half a year, that happens twice a year. Since it's money, you will go 2 decimal points. Your final answer should be 21,673.33. So good investment. I
You
think.
invested in a bond?
In this case, yes. I have actually also invested in a bond, but that's a separate matter. So expect a question like that.
Michelle?
Who is?
Oh, you're not.
Oh, I almost did this.
Did you do the?
So that's a formula if I happen per sometime a year. So you have an N value. There's also a different formula when it happens what we call compound continuously. I'm going to the next page and I also need this particularly.
Yeah.
Get it down, get it down.
How about this?
Take a picture. All right.
Like, this is math that you have to know.
Oh, wait, that wasn't right.
It's very useful, yes.
Hey, can we move
Are
on?
you already saying
Go
no?
back.
What's up?
Or you're about to say no?
No, I'm not ready.
No, it should be the other formula, PERT. Does that sound familiar? Okay.
BERT?
You'll see. Yeah.
That's never happened.
Perfect. So you got a picture of it at least? Okay. So 3.1, this is the other formula. This is what happens when we do continuous compounding. In this one, it compounds every half a year. So this formula is used when you see the word continuous compounding or,
Oh, we didn't learn that yet.
so it's very easy though. So I guess I'll just go over it. Go ahead, please come back though.
What's the E for?
E, you remember what E is, that special number, as well as the special part of your calculator? Yes, it's that E. So Mr. Tobel does the same thing, invests in a, not a bond, let's do an index that pays 5% on a continuous basis. Continuous.
You get another one?
It's easier to plug in, yeah. But it's the same difficulty, as you just need a calculator to plug it in. This is the index that pays 5% on a continuous basis for, let's do 7 years.
Oh.
If he puts in $6,000, how much will he have at the end? Again, you don't have to actually write the problem. But in terms of identifying things, they're almost very similar. The only thing is, notice I say continuous compared to once every blah, blah, blah. So because of that, it's going to be A is still a mystery. That's my end amount. I don't know. P is what I start with, which is $6,000. My rate is still my rate, which is 5%. I got to change that to decimal, so 0.05. T is how long it's going to be, which is 7 years.
Wait, what?
Now, the only thing that's different is you don't have an N. The N doesn't occur because it happens continuously. So all you got to do is 6,000 times e to the power of 0.05. Yeah, 0.05 times 7. 0.5 times 7, if you want to know, is 0.35. Oh, there's e to the 0.35 times 6,000.
I fully am doing that. Okay, now can you?
Just be petty, man.
Yeah.
8,514 and 41 cents. When you use E in the calculator, you want to click second ln to get the exact E value, okay?
I got 2 points. I got 2 points. What?
Emma, my phone doesn't have already.
No, that's what I'm
This
doing.
one.
Like, actually, you're waiting also that's more annoying, but I don't know.
Was anyone in the hallway?
Just adding.
Every single one.
Okay.
So much is right now?
10:13 probably. Sure. I probably won't even finish all my subjects, so I'll do up to probably 3.3, 3.3. Yeah.
Oh, thanks so much.
You? Oh. I'm good.
Okay.
No.
Wait, it's
I
all
thought
like,
there was
you know.
another-
Oh, I was like,
What's up?
Because like, I know like it was.
No, we ended 10:21.
10:21, perfect. Then we got enough time at least to get to 3.3. All right, 3.2, which is logs.
And she was like, she's smart.
Okay. When it comes to logs, hold up, Louis. When it comes to logs, we're just going to plug this in. There's a couple of times we're going to plug it in. Sometimes we're going to do it by hand. You could do either way. So let's say you have log base 2, 16. And I ask you, hey, try to find this by hand. What we could do is set it equal to an X. The blue is what I'm doing. Then I would move the 2 to the other sides. And I'm going to rewrite it as 16 equals 2 to the X power. Not times, it's going to be X power. Then I ask myself, what power of 2 will cause this to be 16? Then in that case, it would be 4. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's going to be X to the 4. So your answer for this one is 4. Sure.
You help.
So log base 3, 1/9.
You would put that on the test?
Yeah, I could put this one on
That's
this.
so weird.
I didn't know.
That equals X.
The heck is that?
We would have to write equals X.
This is how you would do it. So then you would move the 3 over here. So you get 1/9 equals
Greater than negative.
3x power, which then you ask yourself what makes it. It'll be to the -2 power. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that actually does make sense.
Yeah, it's very doable.
That's really easy.
Yeah.
Not, no.
It's just that if you don't know what to do, you can't guess it. So it's
But
what
if
ne-
you-
go ahead.
3 to the -2 power will give you 1/9.
I just think of it this way.
There has to be one.
I just look at the denominator and I say half gets there, and then I'm like, just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to think of it also.
If you have a calculator,
If you're looking at the bottom.
some of them I'm going to say use your calculator to solve. Give me like 2 or 3 decimal points. Well, let's say this one. This one, you cannot do by hand because 3 to X power does not give you a clean 10. So what you're going to do is plug it into your calculator. A lot of you have calculator log base, so you can plug that in. If you don't have log base on your calculator, you're going to rewrite it as log 10 over log 3.
And that would be the answer.
And then you type that in and that would be your answer.
Oh, wait.
Mhm.
Good question. After you move the log towards that another, the thing that was originally there goes into like
The exponent, it's like it picks it up. What's up? That one, yeah. Yeah, but I'm just showing you how to do it by hand. Some of them are doable by hand. I'm just wondering, and it also helps you understand what's actually happening with the log. So that's evaluating some logs. What's next? Graphing log. Oh, some simplification of logs. They're common. Log to the, let's say 5 of 1. Whenever you have a 1 inside a log, it automatically causes the answer to be 0. Good.
Do we have an index card on the test?
No.
How do you feel
What's it called?
Log base 5?
Yeah.
Either you use log base, so you go
It's 5 to the 0.
math, and then you scroll down and you use log base, and then it has a little. If you have log 5 or any number that's the same,
Can I go to Crafter?
it's going to equal 1. Yes, sir. So if they match, it will become 1. All right. So if it's 1, it becomes 0. If they match, it will become 1, or AKA cancel out. Yes. And when it matches, it also can match like this, where it's 5, and the exponent is log base 5. And let's say it was X. Then you would cancel this out, and it would just be X. What's up?
That's
Crazy.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember any question like that. No.
Yeah, basically, the only way I could give it to you is they will cancel out, or you have to rewrite it to cancel them
Wait,
out.
I have a question. What
Fun.
just happened there?
Oh, the same way. Let me actually.
Like, I wouldn't have thought that way.
If it's log, let's say 5, the base of the log and the base of the exponent match, they also cancel out. So even if it was like 13, they cancel out, and it would just be 13 in that case, because these would cancel out because they match.
No.
Oh.
I know what it means. I just didn't think that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So nervous for the test. I know. Me too. It's a
Graphing logs.
7 times 7.
Again, you can use your calculator for this, but this can give a basic one.
It's so bad.
Base 2x.
So like there's a 2 there.
Okay. So if you were to do this by hand, it's hard to mentally think what is log. So instead of that, what we're going to do is move it over to over here and rewrite it as 2y equals x. And then from there, which is going to be slightly different, instead of the x being -2 to 2, I'm going to make my y's from -2 to 2.
You just plug this into a calculator.
You could also plug it into your
Do
calculator.
we have to show that chart thing?
When you graph, you want some points to graph, so chart is useful to make.
Letting us do it.
So you would plug this in. So this would be like 2 to the -2 power, 2 to the -1 power. Your results would be 1/4, 1/2, 1, 2, 4. You graph that. And how it would look like in a graph would generally look like this. This one would be, the y values are going down. Should look like this-ish.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay. Should look like something like that. Okay. Again, you could practice actually plugging in points, whatever, but
It's not hard.
yeah.
It's super well. You should play Nerdle.
Nerdle?
Yeah, you'd actually like it. It's the math version of Wordle.
Oh, that's fun. I'll
Yeah,
check it out
exactly.
later.
You should try it. You have to like come up with a math
But it's
problem.
hard. Look, this is
Like you have
mine so
to
far.
have a math problem that equals a certain number and then it tells you what numbers are actually in the equation.
Okay.
You should try it.
You won't
I'll try.
get it, but you can try.
Nerdle?
Yeah.
Nerdle.
Wait, can you go back to the previous?
Nerdle. Because it's for
People
nerds.
who like that.
So
That's from 3.2. 3.3 is the most of the stuff we actually use. So that's the condense, expand and stuff like that. So for some condensing questions. Let's say like log x plus 3 log y minus 6 log z. Yeah, that's good.
Isaac. I don't know.
Okay. In this situation, to condense it, you would first move all the things to the exponent that would be exponents. So the 3 is going to move up and the 6 is going to move up. So log x plus log y to the 3rd minus log z to the 6th. What do you mean? This moves up to the exponent. Number in front becomes the top. Z to the 6th power, y to the 3rd power. Okay. Oh, my bad. No, let's keep going. So then we have a plus sign here. That means we're going to multiply it. So that's x times y to the 3rd. While we have a minus sign here, that means we're going to divide it. Z to the 6th. How so?
Like, if I did log y to the 3rd minus log z.
As long as it condenses down to this fraction, that's fine. It has to be that fraction, or you could put y 3rd x if you want to do it like that, but otherwise it would be that fraction.
Why do you sound
That's what we're doing. I didn't want to say obvious.
So that's condense, and then we have the reverse, which is expand.
I feel like everybody looks like that once. Come on, you'd be a nice like April.
You're
No.
screaming.
In April or May? No,
But you
May.
scream April.
Look at May. Look at May.
That's,
When's his
Maybe
birthday?
what's up?
Oh, you could be. No.
Wasting time.
Yours December.
When I do a month doesn't have space.
Oh.
Has a, I guess they have an aura or vibe, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Yeah. All right, so expand, it's the reverse. We're just doing it backwards now. We have it as one lump. We want to spread it out as much as possible. Since it's all multiplication, I write it as multiplication.
Everybody from San Diego.
Good. So since that's an exponent on the x, I'm going to put that in front.
And then plus L and Y.
Yeah. And that's it.
Tubi's January. Yeah.
You know it.
We're talking about how everybody
When Ali
looks
gives June.
like their birth
Starts with
months.
the word.
Holly looks like she's June.
I feel like
Are you
I could be
okay?
June or she
Yes,
could be
do
like
it.
a nice March.
Are you August? Oh, okay.
No.
No, Reddy screams May.
No, he screams April.
So he screams June.
April.
April.
He screams April. He's literally.
Nah,
April.
but he's like November.
He's November, but he's April.
He doesn't look like
Rabbi
November.
Ruben screams June.
Yeah, he does.
Jason September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up?
I think Daniel also screams.
Which part?
November.
Yeah, Daniel's
Daniel
always
is November.
21.
Oh.
No, 2 LNX, my bad. Yeah, yeah.
No one fits into that. Yeah.
Nate doesn't. see
Ben's July.
Well, let's remember that. His birthday was literally last April.
I actually knew that.
Expand, condense.
Yeah, just-
Is that it? Oh, and then 3.4 is the actual equations.
Why do you know my dad's birthday?
No, because I remember I was having a conversation, my dad's birthday is the
Sure.
15th, and I remember you telling me yours was like the 1st.
So actual equations now in 3.4.
Let's think about
The equations have most of the type of questions because everything else just builds up to get to that equation aspect. So to the x equals, let's say 32. This one, I would ask myself, how can I rewrite 32 to make it match 2? And this is more to the worksheet we did yesterday.
You do 2 to the 5th.
2 to what power, which is the 5th power, which you could cross that out, then is x equals 5.
This is my favorite.
This matches that worksheet we did yesterday,
We're gonna
okay?
put a lot of this on test, right?
Those, the worksheet stuff is gonna be a good portion of it. Solving equations now.
Yeah. Like maybe 7th grade. I am.
Solving equations.
Are there any tissues?
So the next one, ln x to the 3rd.
Do you have tissues? She's like dressed for it. Like, it's-
Yeah,
Oh, you do?
It's fine. It's something. No, I'm gonna be like.
no problem.
Wait, what a question.
Look from
You know,
September
Lua, it's a
2016.
Lua, like,
I have
a
this
face,
in
like,
my.
the woman who's in a
oh,
Lua.
Move this over here. Equals e to the 3rd. And then you have to type in e to the 3rd in your calculator to get the decimal, and then you would just do it. Okay.
Your girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm prepared.
But
for
you have your
it.
minutes.
Oh, yeah, what is when I-
What happened to the
when I-
minutes?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
She texted me like, hey, how are you? We said that for end of hour. And then she like commented on the, like,
I'll say next to one grade.
This is still 3.4.
and then I was like, how's it going?
This one, we would love to cancel this out.
After this one, was.
Give me one more after that and then the end.
Okay.
So this one, we would condense the logs. So log 5x equals log 10. Since they're both logs, you could cancel them out. 5x equals 10. Yes, x equals 2. No problem, no problem. And then let's do one more at least.
You know that phase where,
Um,
like, everyone logged into each other's accounts, and we're like.
Oh, let's do this.
Yeah, basically. For me, I'm always studying that switch. This is the last.
Yeah. 2. Okay. For this one, notice there's not logs on both sides. So I needed to move the base of the log to the other side. So it's going to be 15 equals, since you don't see a number, you assume it's 10. 10 base 2 or 10, yes, log base 10. So it's 10 to the 2nd power. 15 equals 100. Oh wait, I didn't put an X. I should put a little X here. My bad. X. Then divided by 15 on both sides. X equals, in this case, 2, 6 and 2/3. All right. Use this to help you guys.